guys, my haircut and body shape is currently just a reflection of financial markets. I'm down with the flu, and my haircut kind of not really similarly to the financial markets in good shape, I might say. So we have to examine how the market situation goes, because the big worries around or at the horizon are still recession worries. So let's observe how this goes and which assets might hence be obviously kind of quite interesting for us. While I'm still editing the video, recording a VIP talk with the one and only Jim Rogers, who stated basically sell everything and kind of invest in gold or silver. Well, he's always been kind of rather on the negative end. Yet it's going to be live in a couple of days, so please stay tuned here with us as well. What's up with the equity side of things? We can observe that the S&P 500 currently starting to weaken again, and that is kind of something we've seen, right? V-shaped recovery like COVID, where then simply financial or banks, actually central banks, were cutting rates so sharply. Now we see that the recession worries seem to be what's causing market motivation to turn negative. And again, we see that a continuation here in the MACD indicator causing the market momentum to be negative again, and we see it here as well. So there might be still some room to the downside. Though, will we see again a way lower areas all the way towards the 3,800 level, 3,000 or 4,000 level, 4,100 level in especially US equities? Might be, because they're not cheap yet. They are still above regular figures. That doesn't mean the market is going to go there, but if we count on what has been going on fairly recently, let's kind of push in the 4,150 level here for now. When we count on what's going on or has been going on basically out of China, we can see that, right? China pulls back from US private equity investment, Alibaba being listed in the partly at least in the US. So we shall see that there is a tariff conflict is still going through the roof, whilst equities are not doing the same for now. On the data front this week, we have not too much. French PMI flash manufacturing, that's due on Wednesday. Same story from Germany. The German ones might be kind of quite interesting as well to observe, as they could give some insights into the German economy, obviously kind of further, and the flash manufacturing here also from the UK. They all are going to be expected turning to lower price levels, and with that obviously kind of causing potential negative momentum. Let's talk about the euro, because this one has been rising again. And the euro-US dollar currency pair has been moving way to the upside, quite strong and sharp recovery. Is that the end of the dollar? I might say yes. Actually, Jim Rogers also talked about the US dollar with me while I met up with him. I don't want to kind of give too much insights, but this looks like the market has been moving way beyond the breakout, the long-term trend line. We had traded below parity. That was quite a while ago, COVID times, but now it looks like, and my guess would be here, the market has been moving higher and will kind of push back to this level here, where basically we could see that this X factor is being tested again, that zone basically, and then we might see another rocking show here with the euro-US dollar currency pair. So that's the story I see here in this market, and that's the story I might say we should take into consideration as well when it comes to further momentum in regards to other financial markets. Because if we are looking at it from that angle, we can also and should also focus on the index from China in a way, but let's get it on the Hang Seng side, the Hang Seng Tech Index. And that one had weakened fairly recently again, right? The market came down a couple of trading weeks ago. The market had been moving way to the upside. We are now at a technical support area. We are now trading really on top of this 50 moving average, which could cause the market to push back to the upside here. But it's the question like how the market goes. Technical patterns at the moment, weekly start on Monday slightly lower to maybe see the market moving higher. Looking at it from the opposite side, daily chart, a bit more short term basically. We could also argue that this market has basically started to fade off the cliff, and being this 720 area, we could see maybe we see another drawdown here in this Hang Seng Technology Index, as the market is going to be maybe on the weaker side of things here. So for all of you who are maybe trading this market shorter term, it looks like some downside pattern might be around the corner. Looking back towards the crypto markets as well, we haven't spoken about them for a couple of days here right now. Crypto, Bitcoin has been moving again to higher levels, and that's the interesting part. So I might agree that and I've never really been a big fan. I've traded cryptos every now and then. Yes, agree. And Jim Rogers, he endorsed, saying, look at FX strategies. If you want to get more insights into the crypto market, please follow up with us. So guys, by the way, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, obviously, and leave your comments below the video if you have any. We see that Bitcoin has started to appreciate again further. And I might say, hey, this looks like quite similarly to what we've seen in gold. Maybe not silver, but in gold. The crypto market here, Bitcoin, has been moving towards nicely higher areas again. And now is indeed a good way of looking at it from this perspective. 50 moving average has been tested as like quite often. And if not, or when it's going to be, or when it breaks, that's correct. When it breaks, the market kind of might trades towards way weaker numbers. When it kind of leaves such area to the upside again, it might actually show us that upside motivation might continue. That's exactly how we can see and observe this current situation, as the Bitcoin market has moved to higher levels as well. Similarly to Ethereum, and again guys, I bought about 2 weeks ago, I bought a bit more down here. Does this mean the market is gonna stall out at this level? I might say the level is kind of quite cool. Why? Because we examined this, watched back our recent videos we've done, our short-term videos. I'll put the link above here, since the market has been trading towards quite low figures here, given the long-term market outlook in this Ethereum chart, plus XRP. And yes, I still believe the market meltdown might continue. If we see a recession, if more issues on the horizon come up, yes. But currently, it is like this month of April, we still have only like 9 days to go here. And then the month is already over. This looks like weekly chart quite positive, to be honest. If the market starts trading off the support area, we might see upside potential could continue in this case. And Solana as well starting to appreciate again somehow further, looking quite cool. And again, same area, same zone, 50 moving average is the key takeaway here on the Solana chart, causing the market uplift to maybe continue. Last but not least, in terms of the precious metals and risk on, risk off market sentiment, that's the one we talked about right now earlier on, is the gold chart. Gold has been moving to the upside without an end to that side coming. Jim Rogers, he stated several times about how he thinks, what he thinks about gold. You guys make it up at some point soon. Well, I'll produce and upload that video here. Gold has moved way to higher levels already. Again, last week, basically closed high. Friday, a bit of a correction, kind of quite cool. And now the market is moving higher again, higher and higher. We are about to close towards the 3,400, 3,500. And now seemingly nobody talks about it. It's kind of secretly moving higher. Is that the end of the financial system now, where everything is just going to melt down here, where financial markets are going to kind of push back towards way lower levels, but it's because the gold price is just indicating that upside momentum might continue? I don't have the answer, but I can see here, looking at it from the MACD. I haven't done it much in the past, but it looks kind of quite interesting here. The market running higher and higher, unless a bit of a correction will come into light here. And guys, this was just within that basically 1 year, not quite, but no, it's true. Within basically 1 year, 2,200, the market has doubled. Gold has doubled within basically 1 year. Long-term trend still to the upside. Many years this market had moved into sideways, whatever pattern here. Our chart only goes back to 2001, but this now looks something as quite cool to observe from this angle. Silver market, similarly, this is just something interesting when it comes to the market outlook. Here, 2 minute lines here. Let me make a clear chart here. Up, this looks also quite cool, actually. And I would say arguments for upside momentum look interesting. Now, recession worries from the US. That should mean demand from silver might weaken, but we are talking about the paper silver here as well. A break of the 34.30 area might indicate that the market sentiment will continue higher. So that's the point I would like to make here, as the market motivation here in silver looking kind of quite interesting here, causing potentially upside momentum to continue. Recent break this month to the downside, where markets, financial markets in general, equities in particular, corrected. And now if they will at least somewhat, and I would say if not much of a recession or no recession, actually technically there's not much of a recession, if no recession will follow, silver could move higher as well. A breakout to the upside might be the case we can see here. The oil market is also kind of quite interesting, as the oil market has corrected slightly lower here earlier this week. This looks good as well. 66 again should be the next line in the sand. Our trade way stop loss to break even. We entered just down here at lower levels. We entered at 60 something, 60.50 or something. Now, if the market breaks this high point here, then we will see that the upside is going to continue. For all our subscribers to our FX strategies coaching or a general program, obviously guys get updates from me day in, day out in regards to those open positions. And that's the majority I can see here in all markets for this week. US tech lower, one trade I forgot to mention. We have our short in the dollar CAD. This is also looking very good here. The market seems to be dying down. So a downside motivation in the dollar, Canadian dollar currency pair looking kind of quite fruitful. And that until the next session, I would like to get my rest here and cue my haircut again, and especially also my flu. So guys, take care, stay tuned, and see you soon, and following up with the next videos. Take care, bye.